Now that we have an idea of an overview for the project for the miniature golf course, I'm going to show you one that I've created and kind of talk about some tips and tricks on how to go about yours. You already have your design. You have the different elements that you want to put in yours. There's two different ways to approach this project. The first thing that you can see I did in this specific one is I created my 8-foot by 12-foot rectangle. And I extruded that as being my ground. So what this allowed me to do is when I put my design on this, it allowed me to make sure I stayed to my sizing requirements. The next thing that you're going to see that I did is I created a sketch on top of that platform, that base, according to what I did on paper. And what you're going to see is I had to create doubled lines 1 inch apart. So it wasn't just a matter of drawing my design once, it was about drawing it twice, making sure that I have a complete closed sketch where my lines are 1 inch apart. And the reason I did that is you can see it allowed me to extrude my walls to meet the specifications for the project. Now, there is another way, perhaps an easier way to create the base for your golf course that I'll show in another video, but this is just one way to do it. And what you're going to notice now is I created my different features and extruded them as well. So you can see I have my ramp here. I have a little bit of a sand pit. I designed a tree. I designed my corner block. And again, what you want to do is make sure that your hole is playable. So I can see here, if I putt here, I can go around the curve, end up here. I can do a second putt here, wrap it around here. And I have a chance to get in two, but again, most likely I'd end up somewhere in here where I'd have to do a third one. So make sure that it's playable. But some other sketches I just want to show you on how I made my hills. I actually drew them on the side of my walls, and I extruded them the length then to create my hills. If you take a look at my sand pit for an example, I've got to find that here. It was nothing more than an extrusion using the spline tool going down, and then to create that nice edge on it, I filleted my edges. The tree itself, here we go. The tree was a little bit more complex. You can see I started with a cylinder, extruded my cylinder, and then I laid down a new plane in the center of that, and I created my sketch. And I'll zoom in on that. At the center point of that cylinder of what I wanted the tree to look like, and then I simply used my revolve tool. And my little ramp here, if you can take a look at it, again, I sketched that on the side of the wall and extruded it outwards. Again, one way, I have my little putting mat right there, but just one way to go about it in the design. I'll do another video showing another way to approach this same project.